Final Fantasy XV. The Complete Audio Adventures. Long ago, in a world called Eos, there existed a kingdom unlike any other. The kingdom of Lucis, nestled at the heart of a vast continent, rose from ancient stone and older magic. Its crown city, Insomnia, gleamed like a jewel of light against the encroaching darkness. Its towers reached toward the heavens, its streets hummed with life. And at its center stood the Crystal, an ancient artifact of immeasurable power, the source of all magic, the heartbeat of the kingdom itself. For centuries, the Crystal had been guarded by the Lucis Caelum royal line. Each king channeled its power through a magical barrier called the Wall, a shimmering dome of light that kept the armies of the Niflheim Empire at bay. But maintaining the Wall came at a terrible cost. Each king who bore its burden aged before his time, his life slowly consumed by the magic he wielded to protect his people.
King Regis Lucis Caelum, the 113th, was such a man. Once tall and proud, he now walked with a cane, his face lined with the weight of decades of sacrifice. He had given everything to the world, and yet the empire grew stronger, bolder, more relentless. And so, on the eve of what was supposed to be peace, King Regis made the hardest decision of his life. He sent his children away. His son, Prince Noctis, the prophesied true king, destined to bring light to a world consumed by darkness. And his daughter, Princess Reina, fierce, gifted, and fiercely devoted to her twin brother. He sent them away on the pretense of a royal wedding, knowing in his heart that he was sending them away from a city that was already lost. He never told them goodbye. He never said the words he should have said, because if he had, they would have stayed. And if they had stayed, everything he had sacrificed would have been for nothing. This is their story. The story of what came after. The story of two young royals who lost everything in a single night and chose to fight anyway. Chapter 1. The Fall of Insomnia. The air smelled of rain and old stone. The corridors of the palace were quiet in that particular way that precedes catastrophe. Not the quiet of peace, but the quiet of held breath. King Regis stood at the window of the citadel, his cane resting against the cold stone wall beside him. Below, the city of Insomnia stretched out in all its gleaming golden light. The wall shimmered faintly on the horizon, a dome of pale blue magic that had held the Empire at bay for decades. He had maintained that wall for 30 years. 30 years of slow, steady sacrifice. Of life given drop by drop, year by year, in exchange for the safety of his people. Today, it would not be enough.
Your Majesty, is the evacuation proceeding?
Yes, Kor. We have gotten most of the civilians out through the eastern gate, but the citadel is surrounded.
Your Majesty, the King's glaive is holding the outer perimeter, but they cannot hold much longer. We must move you now.
Good. That is good. And Noctis?
Reyna? They left this morning, as you ordered. They are safe, Your Majesty.
And it was worth it. All of it.
Your Majesty, please, we must go. There is still time.
Cor, you have always been like a daughter to me. You know that, do you not?
Your Majesty, please do not.
The ring. You must take it to Noctis. He will need it. The power of the Lucy flows through it. It is his birthright. Promise me.
I promise. I swear it.
Quietly, with deep love, tell him that I have always been proud of him. And tell Reyna, tell my daughter that her light was the greatest thing in my world. Now go. Both of you go. That is an order.
Yes, Your Majesty.
It has been an honor, King Regis.
King Regis Lucis Caelum turned back toward the window. Below him, the city he had spent his life protecting burned. He did not run. He did not hide. He stood at the window of the citadel and watched the wall, his wall, the wall that had cost him everything, flicker and die. And in the last moment, as the darkness rushed in, he smiled. Because somewhere out there, beyond the flames and the falling towers, his children were alive. The wall fell at dawn, and with it, the last light of Insomnia.
The crowned city of Insomnia. Our home, our sanctuary. For centuries, the wall held the darkness at bay. But peace is a fragile illusion, easily shattered by those who crave power. Noctis, Reyna, my children, forgive me. I could not be the father you needed. I could not be there at the end. But know this. Everything I did, every year I gave, every piece of myself I surrendered to the wall, I gave it for you. Only for you. The road ahead will be dark, darker than anything you have ever known. But you are Lucis Caelum, and the light of kings flows in your blood. Be strong, be brave, and never stop moving forward. I love you both, more than words could ever hold.
This is an emergency broadcast. The Citadel is under attack. Niflheim forces have breached the wall. I repeat, the wall has fallen. Evacuate immediately. All citizens of Insomnia, evacuate immediately.
The world of Eos had not always been so dark. There was a time, long before living memory, when the crystal's light touched every corner of the land. When the astrals, ancient beings of immeasurable power, walked among mortals. When the star scourge, the plague of darkness that turned men into monsters called demons, had not yet taken hold. That time was gone. The star scourge had spread slowly, inexorably, like ink dropped into water. Each night grew a little longer.
each dawn came a little later. The demons multiplied in the darkness, and the crystal's power was the only thing holding the final night at bay. The Niflheim Empire had found a way to harness the darkness rather than fight it. Their Magitech technology, soldiers built from stolen bodies and powered by demon essence, gave them an army that never tired, never feared, and never stopped. Against such a force, the Wall of Lucis was not a shield. It was a countdown. And now, the countdown had reached 0.
We are receiving word that Imperial forces have occupied Insomnia. Furthermore, official Imperial channels are reporting that King Regis has been killed in the attack. The Crystal of Lucis has been seized by the Niflheim Empire. The crowned city has fallen.
Chapter 2: The Road Ahead. 300 miles from the ruins of Insomnia, 5 young people drove through the desert in a black car, carrying the weight of a fallen kingdom on their shoulders. They did not yet know the full scope of what they faced. They did not yet know what the prophecy truly demanded. They only knew that they had to keep moving forward. Always forward. The road to Galden Quay stretched before them, golden in the afternoon sun. And somewhere ahead, past the Imperial blockades and the demon-haunted nights, past the grief and the fear, lay the beginning of everything.
Are we there yet? My legs are completely falling asleep back here. We have been driving for 2 hours.
Prompto, quit whining.
Easy for you to say, Gladio. You've got all that legroom in the front. I am squished back here between the royal twins.
Oh, I am sorry. Am I taking up too much space? I could always use a little light magic to shrink you down a bit. Fit you right in the glove compartment.
Very funny, Raina. Let us not resort to anything drastic just yet. Keep it down, will you? Some of us are trying to sleep. I suggest you wake up, Highness. We're approaching Hammerhead. The regalia is in need of maintenance before we continue to Galden Quay.
Fine. Wake me when we stop.
Honestly, Noct, you would sleep through an earthquake if Ignis did not drag you out of bed.
It's called conserving energy. You should try it sometime. Conserving energy for what? Wedding. I'm supposed to be marrying the Oracle, not hibernating.
We know you are ready. But this is not just about the wedding. It's about securing peace. Father is counting on us.
It appears the engine is struggling with the desert heat. I shall pull over at the station ahead.
Oh, man. Solid ground, finally. My legs. Feel them again. Okay, I have a question. If you could be any kind of monster from the Lucian bestiary, what would you be?
What kind of question is that?
A good one!
I would be a behemoth. Huge, powerful. Nobody messes with you.
A behemoth is also hunted by every capable hunter in the region and has an average lifespan of 12 years in the wild.
Oh.
What about you, Ignis?
I would not wish to be a monster at all, Prompto.
That is such an Ignis answer.
However, if I were forced to choose, a carbuncle. Small, fast, and completely immune to magic. Very hard to catch.
That is actually really smart. What about you, Noct? Adamantoise. Nothing can hurt it. And it just sleeps all day.
Of course.
That is the most Noctis choice possible.
What about you, Raina?
A tonberry. Small, unassuming, and then absolutely devastating when you least expect it.
That is terrifying. That is so you.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
Ignis, we should reach Hammerhead within the hour. I suggest we use the time productively. Noctis, have you reviewed the itinerary for the wedding ceremony?
Ignis, we're on a road trip. Can we not?
The ceremony is in 3 weeks. There are protocols to memorize, vows to prepare.
Ignis, he knows the vows. He's been practicing them since he was 16.
What?
It is true. I heard you reciting them in the mirror.
I hate all of you.
No, you do not.
No, I do not. But I am not admitting that out loud.
Well, howdy there. Welcome to Hammerhead. You folks look like you have been on the road a while. What can I do for you?
Good afternoon. We require a full diagnostic on this vehicle, as well as an oil change and refueling.
Well, I will be. That is a genuine Lucian model, is it not? The Regalia. She is a beauty. Papa is going to flip when he sees this.
Hi, I am Prompto, and this is Noctis, and Reyna, and Gladio, and Ignis. It is really great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Prompto. I am Cindy. I will get to work on her right away. Might take a little while, though. You folks can rest up at the diner over yonder. We appreciate it, Cindy. You are a lifesaver. Oh, do not you worry none. She'll be purring like a kitten when I am done with her. You know, I do not get many Lucian models out here. Most folks drive the Niflheim-made vehicles these days. Cheaper, easier to maintain. But there is nothing like a genuine Lucian machine. The engineering on these old beauties is just something else. You really know your stuff, Cindy. Papa taught me everything I know. Started working on engines when I was 5 years old. Mama was not too happy about the grease stains, but here we are. How long have you been on the road?
Since this morning, we are heading to Galden Quay.
Long drive. You picked a good time to stop, though. Found a crack in your coolant line. Another hour on the road and your engine would have seized up something fierce.
Lucky we stopped here.
Lucky is right. You folks hungry? Dave's got a mean stack of pancakes going in the diner. On the house for Lucian travelers.
Did she say pancakes?
Do not embarrass us. No promises.
They settled into the diner, a weathered building that smelled of motor oil and coffee and something faintly sweet. Prompto ordered 3 stacks of pancakes. Gladio ordered everything on the menu. Ignis reviewed their route with the focused intensity of a man who had never once in his life eaten a meal without simultaneously planning something. And Noctis and Reyna sat across from each other in a corner booth, watching the desert shimmer through the dusty window. Maybe you'll be better at youth sports than I am.
Yeah, probably.
It is strange, is it not, Nock? Being out here, so far from the wall.
Yeah, it is. Quiet. Too quiet.
I kinda like it. Open road, blue sky, no responsibilities.
Except for the whole royal wedding thing.
Thanks for the reminder. Do you think Luna is nervous?
Probably. But she would never show it. She is the Oracle. She has been carrying the weight of the world since she was 12 years old. A wedding is probably the least frightening thing she has ever faced.
I hope she is happy. I mean, I hope this makes her happy. Not just the peace treaty. Actually happy.
Quietly. I think you make her happy, Noct. I really do.
And I think you make her happy too. I have seen the way she writes about you. In those letters she sends. She does not write like someone fulfilling a duty. She writes like someone who is looking forward to something.
Long pause. I just want to be enough. You know? Not the prince. Not the chosen king. Just enough.
You have always been enough, Noct. just have never believed it. That is what I am here for. To remind you.
And in other news, the peace treaty signing between Lucis and Niflheim is scheduled for today at the Citadel in Insomnia. Officials expect this to mark a new era of cooperation between the two nations. Wait, we are receiving breaking news. Reports are still unconfirmed, but sources say that the peace treaty signing has ended in disaster. Explosions have been reported near the Citadel. The wall appears to be down. We are receiving word that Imperial forces have occupied Insomnia. Furthermore, official Imperial channels are reporting that King Regis has been killed in the attack. The Crown Prince and Princess are also reported to have perished. We will continue to monitor the situation.
Turn that up. What? What is happening?
Wait. No.
We must leave now.
I am pushing her as hard as I can.
Faster, Ignis! We have to get back. We have to see for ourselves! Noctis, we cannot just drive straight into the city. If the Empire has taken it, it is swarming with Magitech troops. I do not care. We are going through!
Noct! Wait!
Ringing.
Cor! Tell me it is not true!
Gladio, where are you?
We are at the blockade outside the city. We are coming in.
No. Turn around.
What?
We have to. The city is lost. The king is dead. The crystal has been taken. You and your sister are the only hope left for Lucis. Do not throw your lives away here. Meet me at Keycatrich Trench. We will talk there.
He is gone. He is gone.
Damn it. We should find somewhere to stop. Away from the road. Agreed. There is a rest area 2 miles east. We will regroup there. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
They sat in silence for a long time. The desert stretched around them, vast and indifferent. The sun was beginning to sink toward the horizon, painting the sky in shades of amber and red, colors that looked, in that moment, too much like fire. Grief is a strange thing. It does not arrive all at once. It comes in waves. First, the numbness, the hollow disbelief that the world could have changed so completely in the span of a single afternoon. Then the details begin to surface, the small, specific things. The way he used to stand at the window, the sound of his cane on the stone floor of the Citadel, the particular way he said their names, with a weight that made them feel both chosen and beloved. Noctis sat with his back against the regalia, staring at the darkening sky. Reyna sat beside him, close enough that their shoulders touched. Neither of them spoke. They did not need to. Some silences are not empty. Some silences are full to the brim with everything that cannot be said.
I'm really sorry, guys. About the king. He was always really kind to me. Even when I was just some kid from the city who somehow became Noct's best friend. He never made me feel like I did not belong.
He liked you, Prompto. He always said you were good for me.
Yeah.
The king would not want us to stop here. He sent you both away for a reason. He believed in the prophecy. He believed in you. In both of you. Ignis is right. Grief is a luxury we cannot afford right now. We move, we find the royal tombs, we get stronger, and then we take back what was taken from us.
Gladio is right. We do not stop. Not for anything.
For him. For Lucis. For all of us.
us.
For all of us.
I keep thinking about the last time I saw him, Father. He was standing at the top of the Citadel steps when we left, watching us drive away. He looked old, older than I had ever seen him. The wall had taken so much from him over the years. I wanted to go back. I almost told Ignis to turn around. But Noct put his hand on my arm and said, "He needs us to go." So I did not look back. I should have looked back. I keep trying to remember what he looked like standing there. But the image keeps blurring, like a photograph left in the rain. I am terrified that one day I will not be able to remember his face at all. He used to call me his little light. Even when I was 15 and furious about some protocol or another, he would put his hand on my head and say, "It is the thing about loss that nobody tells you. It is like the big moments that cause you. It is the small ones. The moments you don't have to trust you to go back. So I want you to do
Do you ever think about what it would have been like if we had been born normal? All the time. No crystal. No wall. No prophecy. Just two kids who could grow up without the weight of a kingdom on their shoulders. We would probably be terrible at it. Being normal. Probably. I used to be angry about it, you know, when we were little. All those lessons, all those expectations, while other kids got to just play. I remember you threw your history book at the tutor once. He deserved it. He was insufferable. Yeah, he was. Whatever happens, I need you to promise me something. What? Do not shut us out. When it gets hard, when it gets dark, do not carry it alone. We are here, all of us. I promise. Good. Get some sleep. Ignis will have us up before dawn.
He knocked.
Yeah.
I am glad you were here. I mean it.
Me too, Rena. Me too.
Hey, Nock. Can I ask you something kind of personal? Depends on what it is. Fair enough. Do you ever get scared? Like, really scared? All the time. Really? You never seem like it. That is kind of the point. If I seem scared, everyone else gets scared. And then we are all scared together and nobody is doing anything useful. That sounds really lonely. Yeah. Sometimes it is. You know, you can tell me, right? Like, if you're scared or sad or whatever, you don't have to do the prince thing with me. We have known each other since we were kids. I know. I mean it. I'm not
Gladio or Ignis. I'm not a shield or an advisor. I'm just me. But I'm here. Whatever you need. You have always been exactly what I needed. You just don't know it. Don't say stuff like that. You're gonna make me cry. Gladio will never let me live it down. Then don't cry. Too late. Thanks, Noct. Thanks for being my friend. My real friend. Not the prince's friend. Mine. Always, man. Always.
Gladio, a word.
What is it?
I have been calculating our situation. The Empire has already deployed patrols in the Lide region. They are not simply occupying Insomnia. They are spreading across all of Lucis, systematically.
I noticed. What is your read?
They are looking for Noctis, specifically. The radio broadcast claiming the Crown Prince was killed, that was deliberate misinformation. They want the public to believe he is dead, but their troop movement suggests they know he is not.
So we are being hunted.
Precisely, which means our timeline is compressed. Every day we spend on the road is another day the Empire has to close the net around us.
What are you suggesting?
I am suggesting we move faster. Less camping, fewer detours. Straight to the royal tombs, straight to Altissia. Noctis needs the power of the kings if he is to face what is coming.
Noctis needs time to process what happened to his father. You cannot just push him.
I know that. I am not suggesting we ignore his grief. I am suggesting we channel it. Give him a purpose, a direction. Grief without direction becomes despair.
You're right. What about Reyna?
She is holding herself together through sheer force of will. She is more fragile than she appears right now. She needs to feel useful. Give her responsibilities. Let her contribute.
You have thought about all of this.
It is my job to think about all of this. Noctis is the true king, but he cannot be the king he needs to be if we do not hold the ground around him. That is what we are here for.
Agreed. We move at first light.
Chapter 3. The Marshal's Charge. They met Kor the Marshal at Keycatrich Trench just before midnight. He was waiting for them beside a battered military vehicle, his arms crossed, his expression carved from stone. He was a man who had seen too much war to be surprised by any of it. But even he looked older than they remembered, as if the fall of Insomnia had aged him 10 years in a single day. He did not waste time on pleasantries. He never did. That was the thing about Kor the Immortal. He did not speak unless he had something worth saying. And tonight, he had a great deal worth saying.
I will not pretend this is anything other than what it is. The city is gone. The king is dead. The crystal is in Niflheim hands. And the two of you are the last legitimate heirs to the throne of Lucis.
I know that.
Then act like it. Your father made arrangements. Before the end. The Ring of the Lucy, the conduit of the king's power. It was recovered. It will be brought to you when the time is right. But first, you need to be strong enough to wield it.
The royal tombs.
Correct. There are royal tombs scattered across Lucis. Each one contains the weapon and power of a fallen king. Your ancestors. If Noctis can collect their arms, he will have the strength to face what is coming.
And what exactly is coming?
The prophecy is real, Noctis. I have spent 30 years hoping it was not. But the signs are all there. The Star Scourge is spreading faster than ever. The nights are growing longer. If something is not done, the world will fall into eternal darkness. And you are the only one who can stop it.
What does the prophecy actually say? Exactly.
The true king must sacrifice himself to purge the world of the Scourge. His life for the light of dawn.
I see.
No. There has to be another way.
I hope there is. But right now, the only path forward is the tombs. One step at a time. The first tomb is in Kikatrich Trench itself. I will take you there. And then, your road begins.
The Kikatrich Trench was a ruin from an older war. Its stone corridors were choked with dust and the bones of ancient battles. Magitech soldiers stood guard at every junction, their eyes glowing faintly in the darkness, their movements mechanical and relentless. But Noctis moved through them like water. The power of the kings was in his blood. He could feel it, a warmth beneath his skin, a pull toward the weapons of his ancestors that grew stronger with every step deeper into the trench. Reyna moved at his side, her own magic crackling softly at her fingertips. Light magic, the gift of the Lucis Caelum line that manifested differently in each generation. In their father, it had been the war. In Noctis, it was the power to call weapons from the ether. In Reyna, it was something older, something that even the scholars of the Citadel had struggled to name. She called it her compass, the ability to sense the flow of magic in the world around her, to feel where the light was strongest and where the darkness pressed in. Tonight, the darkness pressed in from every direction.
3 Magitech soldiers, 12 o'clock! I will take the 2 on the left! On it! Reyna, watch the flanks!
Already on it! Prompto, there is one circling behind you!
I see it. I see it. Okay, I definitely see it now! Got it! Noctis, the one on the right has a shield generator. Aim for the power cell on its back. Got it! Gladio, now! Yeah! That was amazing! Did you see that? The way Noct just whoosh, and then the whole thing just exploded?
Prompto, focus!
Right. Focusing. Very focused.
The path ahead is clear. We should move quickly before reinforcements arrive.
You fight well. All of you. Your father would be proud. Yeah. Let us keep moving.
At the heart of the trench, behind a door sealed with ancient Lucian magic, they found the tomb. It was smaller than Noctis had imagined. A single stone sarcophagus in the center of a circular chamber, its walls carved with the names and deeds of the king who rested within. The air was thick with old magic, the kind that had been sleeping for centuries and was only now beginning to stir. Noctis approached the tomb alone. The others stayed back, instinctively understanding that this was not their moment. This was between a prince and his ancestor, between a young man who had just lost his father and the long line of kings who had given everything before him. He placed his hand on the stone, and the weapon came to him. Not with a flash of light or a thunderclap. Quietly, like a memory returning, like a hand reaching across centuries to pass something precious from one generation to the next. He stood there for a long moment, holding the weapon of his ancestor, feeling the weight of it. Not just the physical weight, the other kind. The weight of all the kings who had come before him, all the sacrifices, all the years, all the love and grief and duty that had been poured into this single unbroken line. And for the first time since the city fell, Noctis Lucius Calum felt something other than grief. He felt purpose.
Chapter 4: The Road Between. They made camp that night in the shadow of an old watchtower, far enough from the road that the Imperial patrols would not find them. Ignis had somehow, in the chaos of the day, managed to acquire enough ingredients from the Hammerhead Diner to prepare a proper meal. This was, the group had long ago agreed, one of Ignis Scientia's most remarkable qualities. Not his tactical brilliance, not his encyclopedic knowledge of Lucian history and law, not even his ability to remain perfectly composed in situations that would reduce most people to panic. It was the cooking. The man could make a gourmet meal out of a campfire and whatever happened to be in the vicinity. And tonight, with the world having fallen apart around them, he made something that smelled impossibly like home.
Oh my, Ignis, what is that smell? That is incredible! Grilled garula with lemon herb sauce and roasted vegetables. I improvised somewhat, given our limited supplies.
Not bad, Specs.
High praise from you, Gladio. This is the best thing I have ever eaten in my entire life. I am not even exaggerating.
Ignis, thank you. Really?
Of course. He used to make me eat my vegetables, you know? Father? Every single meal, I would just sit there and wait until I ate them.
I remember. He had infinite patience for that particular battle.
I used to think it was so annoying. I would give anything for one more argument about vegetables right now.
Yeah.
Me too. He was a remarkable man, and he raised remarkable children. We will honor him by finishing what he started.
Yeah.
We will.
Chapter 5: The Sea and What Lies Beyond. The road to Galden Quay wound through salt flats and coastal scrubland, the air growing heavier and saltier with every mile. The sea was visible long before they reached it, a glittering expanse of blue that stretched to the horizon and beyond. It should have been beautiful. It was beautiful. But beauty felt strange and almost inappropriate in the context of everything that had happened. Like finding a flower growing in the ruins of a burned building. The ferry to Alticia ran from Galden Quay. Or it was supposed to. The Imperial blockade at the harbor entrance had other ideas.
Halt! This port is under Imperial jurisdiction. All travel to Alticia is suspended until further notice by order of the Niflheim Empire.
On what grounds?
The grounds that the Empire says so. Identification, all of you.
You have got some nerve. Gladio.
We are travelers. We have business in Alticia. We were not aware of any travel restrictions. Travel restrictions are now in effect across all of Lucis. The Empire is conducting security operations following the liberation of Insomnia. Liberation. That is correct. The crystal is now under Imperial protection for the good of all Eos.
The crystal belongs to Lucis.
Your face. I know your face. We should be going. We will find alternative transport. Wait. You are the Crown Prince. You were supposed to be dead.
Move. Now. Way ahead of you.
They ran. There was no other word for it. They ran back to the Regalia, with Imperial soldiers shouting behind them. Piled in, and Ignis had the engine running before the doors were fully closed. The Regalia was fast. Faster than the Imperial vehicles, which were built for power rather than speed. And Ignis Scientia, for all his composure and precision, drove like a man who had absolutely no intention of being captured today. They did not stop until the harbor was 10 miles behind them, and the only sound was the wind and the distant crash of waves. The ferry was not an option. Not anymore. They would need another way to Alticia. And so the road continued. Not toward the sea, but back into the heart of Lucis. Back toward the tombs. Back toward the weapons of the kings. Back toward the slow, painful, necessary work of becoming strong enough to face what was coming. The road was long. The darkness was growing. And somewhere ahead, the Oracle waited. And the true king had not yet become who he needed to be. Chapter 6. What We Carry. 3 days on the road had a way of stripping away pretense. In the palace, everyone had a role. A mask, a set of behaviors appropriate to their station. Out here, with nothing but the open road and the stars overhead and the constant low hum of danger on the horizon, those masks had a way of slipping. It was Prompto who slipped first, which surprised no one who knew him well. Prompto Argentum had always been the most honest person in any room, even when honesty was inconvenient. Especially when honesty was inconvenient. It happened on the third night, when the others were asleep, and only Noctis and Prompto were keeping watch by the dying campfire.
Noct, there is something I have never told you. Something I have been carrying for a long time. Okay, I am not from Lucis. Not originally. I was born in Niflheim. My barcode, the one on my wrist, is not a Lucian citizen registration. It is an Imperial production code. I was made there, in one of their facilities. I am a product of the Empire. I know what you were thinking. I know how it sounds. I have been terrified to tell you since the day I found out. Because what if that means I am like them? What if there was something in me that... Stop. Noct. I said stop. You are my best friend. You have been my best friend since we were 15 years old. You were the person who dragged me out of my room when I was too depressed to leave. were the person who made me laugh when I did not think I could. Where you were born does not change any of that. You are not a product. You are Prompto. And you are one of the best people I have ever known. You really mean that? I really mean that. And if you ever doubt it again, I will make you eat Ignis's most experimental recipe as punishment. That is a terrifying threat. I know. Get some sleep, Prompto. I've got the watch. Thanks, Noct. For everything.
Chapter 7. The Weight of the Shield. Gladiolus Amicitia had been training to be the king's shield since before he could walk. His father had been the shield before him, his grandfather before that. The Amicitia family had served the Lucis Caelum line for generations, and Gladio had never once questioned whether this was the life he wanted. He had simply trained harder, gotten stronger, gotten faster, gotten tougher, because that was what the shield did. The shield did not have the luxury of doubt. The shield stood between the king and everything that wanted to kill him. And right now, everything wanted to kill Noctis. But even the shield had moments, quiet moments, when the others were occupied and the road stretched empty ahead, when the weight of it all settled on his shoulders like the stone of the citadel itself.
Again.
I am fine.
I did not ask if you were fine. I said again.
There!
Better. Your footwork is still sloppy on the left side.
I know. I am working on it.
Work faster. The Empire doesn't care about your footwork being a work in progress. Again.
Gladio. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Do you ever get angry? Like, genuinely angry? Not the controlled kind. The kind that makes you want to just break something.
Yeah. Every day since insomnia fell.
How do you manage it?
I hit things. Preferably things that deserve it. What is really going on, Reyna?
I am scared I am gonna lose him. Noct. The prophecy says he has to die. And everyone just accepts that. Like it is inevitable. Like there is nothing we can do.
I know.
I am not going to accept it. I refuse to accept it.
Good. Hold on to that. Because the moment we start accepting it, we stop looking for another way. And there might be another way. We do not know yet. So we keep moving, we keep fighting, and we do not give up on him. Not ever. Not ever. Good. Now, again.
Chapter 8. The Advisor's Burden. Ignis Scientia had been assigned to Noctis Lucis Caelum at the age of 6. He had not been asked. He had not chosen. He had been told, with the quiet certainty of people who make decisions about other people's lives without consulting them, that this was his purpose, his duty, his life's work. He had accepted it without question, because that was what you did when you were Ignis Scientia. You accepted. You adapted. You excelled. What no one had told him, what no one had thought to mention, was that somewhere between the age of 6 and the age of 22, the assignment would become something else entirely. not a duty, not a purpose. A family. And that was the thing about family. It made everything both easier and infinitely more complicated.
Ignis, you do not have to stay up, you know. I can take the watch. I am aware. I find I cannot sleep. Me neither. Ignis, can I ask you something? Of course. Did you ever resent it? Being assigned to me when we were kids? Long pause. No. I will confess there were moments, in the early years, when I wondered what my life might have looked like if I had been given a different assignment. But I stopped wondering rather quickly. Why? Because you were, even at the age of 6, the most genuinely interesting person I had ever met. You asked questions no one else thought to ask. You saw things from angles that surprised me. And you were, beneath all the royal protocol and the expectations, remarkably kind. I did not know you thought that. I do not often say it. I should say it more. Whatever comes next, Noctis, whatever the prophecy demands, I want you to know that serving you has been the honor of my life. Not because of what you are, because of who you are. Ignis, do not make it sentimental. I have a reputation to maintain. Right. Right. For what it is worth, you were not just my advisor, Ignis. You never were. You were my family. I know. I have always known.
Chapter 9. The Arms of the Ancestors. The days blurred together in the way that hard travel always does. They found the second tomb in the ruins of an old fortress, half buried in sand and guarded by creatures that had been feeding on the darkness for decades. They found the third in the depths of a flooded cave system that Prompto absolutely did not enjoy navigating, no matter what he said afterward. With each weapon claimed, Noctis changed. Not dramatically, not in the way of stories where the hero is suddenly transformed by a single moment of revelation. Slowly. The way a person changes when they are forced to grow into something larger than they were. The way a river carves a canyon, not in a day, but over years of patient, relentless work. He was still Noctis, still dry and deadpan, and occasionally infuriating in his ability to sleep through almost anything. But there was something else there now, something that had been dormant and was beginning to wake. The others saw it. They did not speak of it, but they saw it.
I watch him sometimes, when he does not know I am watching. He stands differently now. It is subtle. The kind of thing you would only notice if you had known him his whole life. But I have known him his whole life. There is a weight to him that was not there before. Not the weight of grief, though that is still there too. Something else. Something older. Like he is carrying not just himself, but all the kings who came before him. All that history. All that power. All that responsibility. He is becoming who he was always meant to be. And
And I am so proud of him, I can barely stand it. And so terrified of what it means that I can barely breathe. Because the prophecy does not end with him becoming king. The prophecy ends with him giving everything. And I am not ready for that. I do not know if I will ever be ready for that. But I am here. I am with him. Every step. And if there is any way in this world or any other to find a different ending, I will find it. I swear it on every king who came before us. I will find another way.
Chapter 10. The Oracle's Voice. The letter arrived through channels that should not have been possible. A small, folded piece of paper tucked into the lining of a supply package left at a roadside rest stop, addressed in handwriting that Noctis recognized immediately. Luna's handwriting. Precise and elegant, each letter formed with the care of someone who had been taught that even the smallest things deserved to be done well. He read it twice, then a third time. Then he folded it carefully and put it in his jacket pocket, close to his heart. He did not share its contents with the others. But Reyna, who had known her brother for 22 years, saw the way his shoulders changed when he put it away. Whiter. Like something heavy had been set down, or like something lost had been found again. She did not ask. She did not need to.
Dear Noctis, I know this letter may not reach you. I know the roads between us are more dangerous now than they have ever been. But I am writing it anyway, because some things need to be said, even if the saying of them is uncertain. I heard about insomnia, about your father. I am so sorry. I know those words are not enough. They are never enough, but I mean them with everything I have. I need you to know that I am all right. I am safe, for now, and I am working. The astrals are restless. The covenants must be renewed. I am doing what I was born to do. As are you. I have thought about you every day since we were children, writing letters to each other across the distance between our worlds. I have thought about what it would mean to finally stand beside you. I still believe in that day. I still believe in you. Come to Eltesia, Noctis. I will be waiting. Always. Luna.
Chapter 11. The Long Night. The demon attacks had been getting worse. Every night that passed, the darkness came a little earlier and stayed a little longer. The creatures that emerged from it were growing bolder, larger, more numerous. The scholars of the old world had called it the Star Scourge, the spread of an ancient darkness that had been slowly consuming the world for centuries. The people of Eos called it simpler things: the Blight, the Long Night, the End. It was on the 5th week of their journey that the group encountered a daemon unlike anything they had faced before. It came at dusk, when the sky was the color of bruised plums and the first stars were just beginning to appear. It came from the darkness beneath a collapsed overpass, something massive and ancient and wrong. Its eyes like 2 dying suns, its voice a sound that was less sound than pressure, a weight on the chest that made it hard to breathe. Noctis had faced demons before. He had never faced anything like this.
It is a Naga-class demon. Class 7. We are not equipped to fight this. We do not have a choice.
It is between us and the road.
Noctis, the light.
I know. Give me a moment.
We do not have a moment. It is moving. Noct, on your left. I see it. Ignis, the weak point.
The core is in the chest cavity. You need to get through the outer shell first. Gladio, can you break it? Watch me.
Ha! It is working! The shell is cracking!
Everyone, get clear. Now.
Reyna, are you sure about this?
Get clear!
Incredible. Remarkable. Yeah. That was something. Is it gone? Yeah. It is gone. Reyna, are you alright?
I am fine. Just give me a minute. Noctis, sit beside her.
Take all the time you need. That was incredible.
I did not know I could do that. I didn't know the light could be that strong.
I did. I have always known.
Chapter 12. Toward the Sea. They found a way to Altissia eventually. Not the ferry, which remained blockaded, but a contact of Kors, a smuggler who had been running supplies between Lucis and Altissia for years, and who had absolutely no loyalty to the Niflheim Empire, and a great deal of loyalty to the gold Ignis produced from somewhere in the Regalia's glove compartment. The crossing took 2 days. 2 days on a battered cargo vessel that smelled of fish and salt and old wood, with the open sea stretching in every direction and nothing but sky above. Prompto took approximately 400 photographs. Gladio spent most of the crossing doing pull-ups on whatever structural elements he could find. Ignis reviewed their plan for Altissia with the focused intensity of a man who had never once in his life allowed himself to simply enjoy a sea voyage. And Noctis and Reyna stood at the bow of the ship as the sun set over the water, watching the horizon, thinking about everything that lay ahead. They did not speak much. They did not need to. Some conversations happen in silence, in the space between words, in the simple fact of standing beside someone you love when the world is uncertain and the future is unclear. That was enough. For now. That was enough.
Okay, this is officially the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. The light on the water right now? Perfect! Absolutely perfect!
You've taken 100 photos already.
200! And I am just getting started.
Let him be, Gladio. He is happy.
Yeah.
The approach to Altissia should take approximately 14 more hours at current speed. I have been reviewing the city's layout, and I believe I have identified several safe houses we can use.
Noctis.
Yes? We are on a boat, in the middle of the ocean. The sun is setting. Can we just, for 5 minutes, not plan anything? I suppose 5 minutes could be managed.
Did Ignis just agree to not plan something? Someone write this down. This is historic.
I said 5 minutes, Prompto, not an eternity.
It is so beautiful, is it not? The sea. I used to dream about traveling when I was little. Before I understood what being a princess actually meant, I thought it would be like this. Open roads, new places. Adventure.
And now,
Now I know the adventure comes with a price. But I still think it is worth it. Being here, with all of you. Even with everything. I would not trade it. Me neither.
same. Nor I. Now, about Alticia.
Chapter 13. The City of Water. Alticia rose from the sea like a dream. A city built on a series of islands connected by arching bridges, its buildings white and gold and ancient, its canals reflecting the morning light in ripples of silver and blue. It was the most beautiful city any of them had ever seen. It was also, as Ignis quickly noted, heavily fortified. The Niflheim Empire had not yet reached Alticia. The city-state maintained its independence through a combination of strategic neutrality, natural defenses, and the fact that the first secretary of Alticia was, by all accounts, a woman of extraordinary political skill who had been outmaneuvering empires since before most of the current imperial leadership was born. But the empire was coming. Everyone in Alticia knew it. The tension was in the air like the smell before a storm, in the too careful smiles of the merchants, in the way the city guard stood a little straighter, watched a little harder, in the hushed conversations that stopped when strangers approached. They had perhaps weeks before the Empire arrived, perhaps less. And somewhere in this beautiful, fragile city, the Oracle was waiting.
Oh, wow! This is... I do not even have words! Look at this place! The architecture, the canals, the light, it is like a painting!
It's a city. Nice city.
Gladio, it is extraordinary.
Okay. It is extraordinary. The main plaza is to the north. The first secretary's offices are in the central tower. I have arranged a meeting for this afternoon. We should also identify secondary exit routes in case the meeting goes poorly.
Can we maybe eat something first? I've been on a boat for 2 days and I am absolutely starving.
There is a highly regarded establishment 2 streets over that I noted in my research.
You researched the restaurants?
I research everything, Prompto. Noctis is here somewhere. I can feel it.
We will find her, Noct. We are so close now.
Yeah. We are.
Chapter 14. The Oracle. They found her in the gardens of the first secretary's residence, standing among white flowers with her back to the gate, her silver white hair catching the afternoon light. She turned when she heard them approach, and for a long moment, Noctis and Lunafreya Nox Floret simply looked at each other. They had exchanged letters for years. Hundreds of letters passed through secret channels and trusted messengers, each one a small window into the other's world. They had grown up in parallel, shaped by different burdens, but moving toward the same point. But letters are not the same as presence. And presence, after years of absence, is a kind of miracle. The others had the grace to hang back. This moment was not theirs.
Luna.
You came.
I said I would.
You did. In a letter 12 years ago, you wrote, "I will come to Altisha one day, and I will bring you a proper Lucian meal because the food in Tenebria is probably terrible."
I was 10. I did not know anything about Tenebria.
The food in Tenebria is actually quite good. But I appreciated the sentiment. I am so sorry about your father, Noctis. He was a great man. And he loved you very much.
No. Luna. Are you all right? Really?
I am. I have been doing what I was born to do. The Astrals are listening. The covenants are being renewed. The path is hard, but I am not walking it alone anymore. You are here.
I am here. I am not going anywhere.
I know. I have always known. And you must be Reyna. Noctis has written about you extensively.
He has?
Constantly. He once wrote an entire letter about the time you convinced the palace guard to let you both sneak out to watch the meteor shower from the roof. He was very proud of that.
He got us both grounded for a week.
He said it was worth it. I am very glad to meet you, Reyna. Truly. I have wanted to for a long time.
I need to say something. And I hope you will not take it the wrong way.
Of course.
He loves you. He has loved you for as long as I can remember. And I need you to know that I am going to do everything in my power to make sure the two of you get the future you deserve. Whatever the prophecy says, whatever the Empire does, I am not going to let this end the way everyone seems to think it has to end.
Pause. Then quietly, moved. I believe you. And I am glad Noctis has you. I hope you will let me stand beside you as well, in whatever comes next.
After a moment, I think I would like that very much.
Good. Then we are agreed.
Chapter 15. The Trial of the Astrals. The Astrals were not gods in the way that stories make gods. They were not distant and indifferent. They were not cruel for cruelty's sake. They were ancient. Incomprehensibly ancient. Beings who had watched the world be born and grow and suffer and endure for so long that their perspective on human suffering was not cold exactly, but vast, the way the ocean's perspective on a single wave is vast. To receive the covenant of an astral, the true king had to face them. Not in battle, though battle was often part of it, but in truth. In the deepest, most honest confrontation with oneself that a person could survive. The astral titan waited in the ruins of an ancient temple at the edge of Duscae, and Noctis walked toward it alone. The others waited at the edge of the ruins, watching. Reyna's hands were clenched at her sides. Prompto was very quietly not crying. Gladio stood like a stone wall, arms crossed, jaw set. Ignis watched with the expression of a man calculating every possible outcome and finding none of them entirely satisfactory. And Noctis walked forward into the truth.
You come seeking power, young king.
I come seeking what I need to protect the people I love.
And if the two are not the same thing,
then I will find a way to make them the same.
You carry grief, heavy grief, the weight of a father, the weight of a city, the weight of a world that has placed its hope on shoulders that have not yet finished growing.
I know.
Do you believe you are worthy of what you seek?
No, not yet. But I am going to become worthy. I do not have a choice. The people I love are depending on me. The world is depending on me. I am not going to let them down.
What will you sacrifice?
Whatever it takes. I know what the prophecy says. I know what it costs. And I am choosing it. Not because I have to. Because I want to. Because if my life is the price of the dawn, then I will pay it. But not yet. Not until I have done everything I can for the people who are standing out there waiting for me.
Then rise, young king. The covenant is made. The power of the Archaean is yours. Use it well.
Reyna, Noct! Are you all right? Are you hurt?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Reyna, you were in there for 3 hours! We could not reach you! We could not do anything! I was...
Hey, I'm here. I'm okay.
That was the longest 3 hours of my entire life! I aged 10 years! I have gray hairs now! I can feel them!
You do not have gray hairs.
I feel like I do!
Welcome back, Noctis. I trust the trial was... illuminating?
Yeah, it was. I know what I have to do now. I know the whole shape of it. And I am not afraid anymore.
Noct!
I am not afraid. I know what it costs. And I am choosing it. But I'm not going anywhere until we have done everything we can. All of us. Together. So, what is next? After a moment. Quietly. The next astral. And the road continues. Then let us go.
Chapter 16. The Bonds That Hold. The road stretched on. Weeks became months. The tombs were found, one by one. The covenants were made. The power of the kings accumulated in Noctis like water filling a vessel, slowly, steadily, until the vessel began to change shape to hold what it was being asked to contain. And through it all, the 5 of them moved together. They learned each other in the way that only people who travel together can. The particular rhythm of each other's breathing in the dark. The way Prompto hummed to himself when he was nervous. The way Gladio went very quiet when something was bothering him, as opposed to his usual comfortable loudness. The way Ignis's precise diction became even more precise when he was worried, each word placed with extra care, as if language itself could hold the world together. The way Reyna's light magic flickered and pulsed when her emotions ran high, a soft glow at her fingertips that she could not entirely control. And Noctis. The way Noctis, who had always been so careful about letting people in, had stopped being careful. The way he reached for them now. Not dramatically, not with grand declarations. Just the small daily choices of someone who had decided that the people around him were worth the vulnerability of being known. That
was how you built a family. Not in a single moment, but in 1,000 small ones.
Got another one. That is 4. 4? How are you catching 4? I have been sitting here for an hour and I have caught exactly 0 fish.
It is a gift.
It is luck.
It is skill, Gladio?
It is definitely luck.
It is a little of both. He has always been good at fishing. Father used to take us to the lake outside the city when we were small. Noct would sit there for hours, completely still, completely patient. Which is remarkable given that he cannot sit still for anything else.
Fishing is different. I have noted that Noctis's capacity for patience scales precisely with the presence of a fishing rod. I got one! I got one! Oh, it is big. It is really big. Gladio, help! You do not need help with a fish, Prompto. I might. Okay, I definitely need help.
Pull up, Prompto. Up, not back.
Straining. I am pulling up. Yes! Look at that. Look at the size of that thing. Okay, that is a big fish. I win. I win fishing. Fishing is not a competition, Prompto. Everything is a competition, Ignis. Ignis, are you smiling? I am not smiling.
You are absolutely smiling.
I am merely appreciating the moment.
Chapter 17. The Gathering Dark. But the world did not wait for them to be ready. The Star Scourge was accelerating. The nights were growing longer with a speed that even the scholars had not predicted. Cities that had been safe were falling to the darkness. The demon populations were exploding, spreading beyond the regions they had previously inhabited, pushing into farmland and coastal towns and places that had never known the kind of darkness that turned men into monsters. The Empire, for all its power, was struggling. Their Magitech soldiers could fight demons, but the demons were multiplying faster than the Empire could produce soldiers. And the Magitech technology itself, built on demon essence, was beginning to behave unpredictably, as if the darkness it had been built to harness was growing too large to contain. The world was running out of time, and Noctis Lucis Calum, the true king, was not yet ready. But he was close. He was so close.
The reports from the Northern Territories are consistent. The demon activity has increased by an order of magnitude in the past 2 weeks. At current rates, the populated regions of Lucis will be uninhabitable within 6 months.
6 months.
Possibly less, but quietly.
That is not a lot of time.
How many tombs are left? 2. The Tomb of the Wise and the Tomb of the Tall. Both are in the Malmalam thicket. And then there is the crystal.
The crystal is in Niflheim, in the heart of the Imperial capital.
Yes.
So we are walking into the Empire's front door.
Essentially.
Okay. We have done harder things.
Have we?
Yes, we have. We are still here, are we not? We are still here, and we are going to finish this. All of us. Together. No one gets left behind. That is not negotiable.
Agreed.
Agreed. Agreed.
Agreed.
Let us go finish this.
Chapter 18. The Last Kings. The final tombs were the hardest. Not because the enemies guarding them were stronger, though they were. Not because the paths to them were more treacherous, though they were.
but because by the time they reached them, everyone understood what claiming the last weapons meant. It meant the preparation was over. It meant the final act was beginning. Noctis claimed the last weapon in silence. He stood in the final tomb for a long time, longer than he had stood in any of the others. When he emerged, he was different. Not in the way he had changed with each previous weapon, not the slow, steady accumulation of power and purpose. This was something else. This was completion. The vessel was full. The true king had arrived. And the road to the crystal lay open before them.
Noct.
I can feel them. All of them. Every king. Every queen. Every person who ever bore this name and carried this burden. They are all here. Inside me. I understand now what it means. What it has always meant. The crystal is not just a source of power. It is a promise. A promise made by the first king to the world. That as long as the line holds, the light will not go out. I am the last of the line. And I intend to keep that promise.
We know you will.
We have always known.
We are with you. All the way. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Thank you. For everything. For all of it. I could not have become this without you. Any of you. Now, let us go take back the crystal.
Chapter 19. Into the Heart of Darkness. Niflheim, the Empire's capital, was everything Lucis was not. Where Insomnia had been built on light and ancient magic, the Imperial capital was built on industry and control. Its towers were not carved stone, but forged metal. Its streets were not cobblestone, but reinforced plating. Its sky was not open, but choked with the exhaust of 1,000 Magitech factories, a permanent gray haze that had not lifted in living memory. The crystal was at the center of it all, housed in a facility that had been built specifically to contain it, surrounded by layers of Imperial security, Magitech soldiers, and the kind of desperate, grasping hunger that comes from having taken something that was never yours, and knowing, somewhere deep in the machinery of the Empire's ambition, that it would eventually be reclaimed. They went in at night, which was, Ignis noted, becoming something of a pattern. But the night was their ally now, because the true king carried his own light.
The crystal chamber is 2 levels below us. The main stairwell is guarded. We will need to use the service corridor on the east side. I count 12 soldiers on this level. 6 Magitech, 6 human. Prompto. I can take out the 2 on the far right from here. Give me 30 seconds. Do it. Prompto. Done.
The Magitech units are responding to the gap. They are moving to fill it.
Now, Noctis. Gladio, left flank.
On it! 3 more coming from the upper level. Reyna, hold the corridor. Already holding it. Blah. Prompto, clear on the right. Gladio, clear on the left. The path is open. Move quickly. The alarm will have been triggered. How far? 1 more level, and then the crystal.
Then let us finish this.
Chapter 20. The Crystal's Call.
The crystal was larger than Noctis had imagined. He had grown up hearing about it, seeing paintings and sculptures and artistic interpretations of it, but none of them had captured the reality. It filled the chamber from floor to ceiling, a column of pure crystallized light, its interior shifting with colors that had no names in any human language. It hummed with a frequency that was not quite sound, more like a vibration in the chest, in the bones, in the space behind the eyes. It was alive. That was the thing no one had ever quite conveyed. The crystal was alive. Not in the way that animals were alive or people were alive. In the way that stars were alive. In the way that ancient things that had existed since before the concept of time had a name were alive. And it recognized him. Noctis felt it the moment he stepped into the chamber. A warmth, a welcome. Like coming home to a place you had never been but had always known. He walked toward it alone. The others stayed at the entrance. This was the moment everything had been building toward. He reached out his hand and touched the crystal.
You have come, true king.
I have come.
You know what is required.
I know. The Star Scourge can't be purged by power alone. The darkness has to be drawn into the light, and the light has to be strong enough to burn it away. And the only light strong enough is the light of all the kings combined. Which means it has to flow through me. And the cost. My life. I know. I have known for a while. I have made my peace with it.
You do not fear it?
I am afraid of leaving them. The people who are standing outside that door. I am afraid of the grief it will cause them. But I am not afraid of the act itself. Because it is a choice. And it is my choice. And I am choosing it freely. For them. For Lucis. For the world. For the dawn.
Then the power of all kings is yours, Noctis Lucis Caelum. Go and bring the dawn.
Noct, what happened in there?
I spoke with the crystal. I know what I have to do. And I know when. When? Not yet. There is still time. I want to have a little more time with all of you. Is that all right?
Of course it is all right. Of course.
Yeah. Take all the time you need. We are here, Noctis. We will always be here. Noctis. Reyna.
Do not.
I need you to hear this.
Noct.
You are the best person I know. You always have been. And whatever happens, I need you to keep going. I need you to keep being exactly who you are. Because the world is going to need your light. Long after mine is gone.
I hate this.
Chapter 21. The Last Night. They spent the night before the final dawn together. Not planning, not preparing, just together. Ignis cooked, the best meal he had ever made by general consensus, though he deflected the compliment with characteristic precision. Prompto took photographs, hundreds of them. Every face, every moment, every small gesture and expression that he wanted to keep forever. Gladio told stories about his father, about the shield who had come before him, about the long line of Amicitia men who had stood between their kings and the world. And Noctis and Reyna sat together, as they had sat 1,000 times before, shoulder to shoulder, watching the stars. The world was very quiet. The kind of quiet that comes before something enormous. They all felt it, but they did not speak of it. Because some things do not need to be spoken. Some things are simply held in the space between heartbeats, in the warmth of being together, in the knowledge that whatever comes next, this moment was real. This moment was real. And it was enough.
Hey, I just want you to know, meeting you was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was nobody before you. I was just some kid who did not belong anywhere. And then you let me in. Like it was nothing. Like I had always been there. I am gonna miss you so much. I know. I'm gonna miss you too. You were never nobody, Prompto. You were always exactly who you needed to be. You know I'm not good at this. I know. My whole life has been about protecting you. And I cannot protect you from this. That is hard. You protected me for long enough. You gave me the time I needed. That is everything, Gladio. That is everything. I have been thinking about what to say. I have been thinking about it for weeks. And I find that all the words I prepared seem inadequate. So I will simply say this. It has been the honor of my life. Every moment, every meal, every argument about vegetables, every single day. Thank you, Noctis, for letting me be part of this. Ignis, thank you for making me who I am. I would not have gotten here without you. None of it. Without any of you.
I keep thinking there has to be another way.
I know.
I've been looking. Since the day Kor told us about the prophecy, I have been looking for another way.
Reyna.
I am not ready to stop looking.
I know. And I love you for it. But I need you to hear me. This is not something that was done to me. This is something I am choosing. There is a difference. I am choosing this because the world deserves a dawn. Because the people in it deserve to live without the darkness. Because you deserve to live in a world with light. And I am the only one who can give them that. So I am giving it.
I do not want a world without you in it.
I know. But you are going to be okay. I need you to believe
believe that. You are the strongest person I have ever known. Stronger than me. You always have been. And you are going to carry this. And you are going to keep going. And you are going to live. For both of us.
I hate this so much.
I know. Me too. But Reyna, my little light, I am so glad you were here. I am so glad it was you. Of all the people in all the world who could have been my sister, I am so glad it was you.
I love you, Noct.
I love you too. Always.
Chapter 22 The Dawn. He walked into the darkness alone, as the true king must. The star scourge had reached its apex. The world was drowning in it. The demons were everywhere. The night had stretched so long that people had begun to forget what the sun looked like. But Noctis Lucius Caelum walked into the heart of it, with the power of all the kings of Lucius burning inside him, with the love of his family at his back, with the memory of his father in his heart. And he called the light. It came slowly at first, a single point of brilliance in the absolute dark. Then another, and another. The weapons of the kings, every one of them, summoned from the ether, circling him in a constellation of light. And then, all at once, everything. The light of 1,000 years of kings poured through him and into the world. The star scourge burned. The demons screamed and dissolved. The darkness retreated. And on the horizon, for the first time in what felt like forever, the sky began to lighten. The dawn was coming. The true king had kept his promise.
It is actually happening. Yeah.
He did it. He actually did it.
He always was going to. From the very beginning. He was always going to. I know. It does not make it easier. No. It does not.
He said to keep going. He said to live. For both of us. So that is what I am going to do. That is what we are all going to do. We are going to live in the world he gave us. And we are going to make it worth it. Yeah, we are.
Damn right we are. The sun is rising.
I see it. I see it not. It is beautiful. Just like you said it would be.
Epilogue. The dawn came, and with it
the world began to breathe again. The star scourge was gone, not diminished, not pushed back, gone, burned away by the light of 1,000 kings, channeled through the last of their line, given freely and completely and without reservation. The demons dissolved. The eternal night ended. The crystal, its purpose fulfilled, went dark and still. Its light no longer needed, because the light it had been protecting had been given back to the world. The world that woke in the days that followed was not the same world that had gone to sleep under the darkness. How could it be? Too much had changed, too much had been lost. Too much had been learned in the long dark about what mattered and what did not. But it was a world with a sun in the sky. And that was everything. That was, in the end, what it had all been for.
In the years that followed, the survivors of the long dark built something new. Prompto Argentum became a photographer of some renown. His images of the journey, of the people he had traveled with, of the world before and after the dawn, exhibited in galleries across Eos. He never stopped smiling. He never stopped taking photographs. And he never forgot, not for a single day, the friend who had told him he was more than where he came from. Gladiolus Amachitia rebuilt the Amachitia family's role in the new Lucis, not as a shield to a king, for there was no king to shield, but as a protector of something larger, a guardian of the people. He trained a new generation of fighters and taught them what his father had taught him, that strength is not for the strong. It is for those who cannot protect themselves. Ignis Scientia became the chief advisor to the new council of Lucis. His precision and brilliance and absolute dedication to doing what was right rather than what was easy, making him the most trusted voice in the reconstruction. He cooked for the council. They were, by general consensus, the best-fed governing body in the history of Eos. And Rena Lucis Caelum, she became what she had always been, without the weight of a title to define her. A light in the world. She traveled. She helped rebuild. She carried her brother's memory, not as a wound, but as a compass, letting it point her toward the places where her light was most needed. She never stopped. She had promised him she would not. And she was a Lucis Caelum. They did not break their promises.
People ask me sometimes, what was he like? And I always have to think for a moment before I answer. Not because I do not know, but because there are so many true things to say that it is hard to choose. He was stubborn. He was funny in a dry, quiet way that snuck up on you. He was terrible at mornings and extraordinary in a crisis. He loved fishing and hated vegetables and could sleep through almost anything. He was afraid. More afraid than anyone knew. And he was brave anyway. That is the thing people do not understand about courage. It is not the absence of fear. It is doing what needs to be done despite the fear. And he did that every single day. He was my brother, my twin,
my best friend. And he gave the world a dawn. And every morning, when the sun comes up, I think of him. And I say, I see it, Nacht. I see it. And it is beautiful. Just like you.
And so the story of the true king came to its end. Not with a trumpet fanfare, not with a grand proclamation, but with a sunrise, and 4 people standing in the light of it, carrying their grief and their love and their memories of the one who had made it possible. The road had been long. The darkness had been deep. But the dawn had come. As it always does. As it always will. Because that is the promise. That is the covenant that was made at the beginning of the world and renewed by every king who came after. The light endures. The dawn comes. And the story goes on. Long pause. This has been Final Fantasy XV, the complete audio adventures. Thank you for listening.